Hi, do you pronounce your name Rama?
Yes, that's perfect.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you, Suzanne. It's kind of funny. Clee and a couple of you other guys that are speaking, I've watched like the YouTube channels and stuff, so I'm like recognizing your voices, so that's kind of cool. Um, I'm new to the
Nice.
Patreon and everything.
Yeah,
But
welcome.
yeah, I just wanted to talk because I've been on this journey for about half a year now, and I haven't been really able to talk to anyone about it. So I'm 21. I just finished my junior year of college, but I dropped out halfway through the semester. Um, and I just recently, like in life, that's a small example, but I'm losing everything. And not in a super physical way, but just more of like the ideas of who I was. Um, and it's incredibly empty. Um, but it's also okay already. Um, when I first heard your message, Suzanne, um, your video, it was like 6 months ago, it came up, and immediately I was angry. I was like, no, what is she talking about? This
Nice.
could be it. And I was in a way avoiding like the channel because it really struck in me something that I had never felt. But it just slowly seeped in and I could not resist. Um, and yeah, it's been wild. It's been absolutely wild. I just feel really a little scared because I'm only 21 and I really don't have a deep sense of self already. Like I'm barely started. Um, so it's really hard for me to like imagine a future, not in a negative way, but just imagine a fixed future. And that's really conflicting with like what my family expects and what people expect because I have no goal. I have no, like, there's nothing I like need. I'm at work, but like I don't know. I could stay there for the rest of my life. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. And it's really
Beautiful.
alarming. It's really alarming though, because like I feel like people are so repulsed by that. Like I was trying to explain this to my mom and she was like, but you need to have goals. Like you need to have purpose. And I've just been trying to communicate. I don't though, and there's no way I can trick myself into having purpose.
Mm.
And I feel sad for them too, because I can't imagine what they're feeling seeing me feel this way. Like if they own that or own part of that. But I've seen clearly that you're right. It's no one in particular to own or
Yeah. Yeah, like they can't understand what it's actually like to live this way.
yes, and it's not like their fault. Like they're meant to be who they are. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. It's lonely, like very, because now like they're not even my parents and I'm adopted. So I was adopted when I was 2, from Russia. So there's always kind of like a difference and a contingency, but now it's even more. Like it just doesn't feel real to me,
Hmm.
at all. And like I just I'm kind of reclusing in a way, and I'm so okay with it. Like I'm
Mm.
disturbingly okay with it. Um, the body has been having a really hard time at times. Unmotivated, tired. Every day I just feel like I'm playing pretend, which is okay. Like I don't know, it's fine. I'm just playing pretend, you know? It's I don't know, like I feel like everything's playing pretend. It doesn't matter. It's just all very light. But it also is very dark. So I've had to accept some really, really horrific sides of myself. And I think that's kind of like what got me here, was
Mm,
just seeing my wholeness. And I couldn't deny my wholeness.
beautiful.
Yeah. It
Oh,
just
you're
couldn't.
like a little Buddha.
I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't, you know, I couldn't deny my wholeness because it was it was tiring. But now that I am in my wholeness, I realized that there was that, like wholeness is a concept. There was nothing to actually open into. It's just more of a, I think you use the term energetic shift. Um, but yeah, I'm 21, so I don't know. Like I don't even have I don't have a need to get married. I don't have a need to have a family. Like I'm so empty, and I think it's because I haven't experienced a lot. It's a little less to let go of, maybe. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. That's beautiful. So I've really thought about like I know it's all just concepts and there is no age, but I have thought about people who come to me who are younger and feeling like, yeah, they're too young or they should live more. They should experience more before this happens and stuff. But a part of me also feels like you're not going to suffer in the way people are going to suffer for 30 years and then this happens, you know? So it's not like that needs to happen either. Um, because sometimes when you really do see that there's nothing in that stuff, it's so okay that it has fallen away and you're so at peace. Like that's how I am now. I don't need those things anymore. And I have longed for those things for so long, really believing that that's gonna make my life worth it, you know, and live without regrets and die without regrets and stuff. But uh, it's so gone that it's like it's completely out of my reality. And no one's going to understand that because that is their reality. Um, and yeah, at times it is going to feel lonely because no one's going to understand you unless they have gone through this, and there are people out there. But yeah, who you can relate to will probably be very tiny. Um,
It Yeah, it's been like the more I lose, the less I relate, and um I just like it's insane how much like I can lose. Like I didn't think there's things I can lose, but it's like daily. I don't know, and I don't believe in anything anymore. Like I don't even believe in my emotions. Like I just don't believe in it. Like I and it's so strange because like I don't believe in this. Like I know how empty this all is. Um so it is isolating, but it's a strange isolation. It's not an isolation from a place of like a need. It's more of just like a very spacious location. Like I just feel like all I have is space.
yeah, yeah. You're not rejecting anything. It's just like there is no need for that. Yeah.
But it's affecting like I eat less. Um, I don't take care of myself like when I say take care of myself, like I'm just not as worried about like things that I used to really be worried about. Like I'll leave the house sometimes like without brushing my teeth if I'm in a rush. Like just things that I really used to prioritize, it's falling away. Obviously, like maybe I'll create a habit to, you know,
I
maintain
understand.
hygiene, but I don't know. It's just weird seeing all those things just fall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's gonna ebb and flow. Like you said, it's um I think overall it gets really, really empty and you don't know what's gonna really stick. Um, but I feel like the emptier it is now, there's a little bit of like, and I'm not doing it. It's just because it's so empty that there's a little bit of recalibration of like, okay, I would like to focus a little bit on this. And it's not really mental. It's like I think the energy just kind of goes there. It finds it like a little bit important. It's not really important. Doesn't even matter if it happens. But let's say the health of the body or something, like there'll be a little bit of effort to like eat a little healthier or something like that. Um, like everything that you said sounds really familiar. Like I also didn't eat for a long time, just not a long time, but it was a lot more sparingly because it was like it's just so much energy to prepare food and to focus so much on that, and it just kind of fell away. But yeah, I think after a while it started coming back like a little bit. Little bits of things started to, just because I think it's so empty that, yeah, but I don't want you to, it really isn't the same energy, you know? It's not like you're directing it. It's not like it's really important. Um, yeah, it's very strange. I can relate to how you said that it's totally fine if you just stay at this job forever. You don't need to go up higher. You don't need to do anything. It's just it pays the bills and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I
But
just
eventually, who knows? Okay, so it's really hard to like say anything, but I do feel like it's gonna depend. It's just gonna depend. But there could be like, okay, why not like try this? Um, yeah, it's really hard to say anything. I really don't think you have anything to worry about. It will be okay.
yeah, I appreciate that, Suzanne. I just feel like I've witnessed my death and now I'm just here after. And now it just feels like I'm actually just as morbid as this sound, like waiting to die. Just I'm just waiting to die. And
You mean
in
the
a way,
body?
yeah, the body, yeah, it's just waiting to die. And there's so much boredom in that,
Okay.
yeah, just because there's just space and time. And I've realized I think too, like when I'm trying to fill like it with emotions or all these things, it's just because a lot of the time I'm bored.
You said fill it with emotions?
As in believing, and I can kind of like feel more if I want to and feel less if I want to, or seemingly.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah,
but
you're like entertaining certain things.
correct. And
Yeah.
yeah, it just doesn't resonate anymore. So it is also kind of like boring. Everything does become the same thing. Um, but yeah, I just really that's all I really have to say. I really appreciate your
Mm.
message, Suzanne. I just find you to be such a mysterious human, and I really
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah.
appreciate
I really understand the worry too. I definitely um yeah. I think it's also good to know that in a way it's kind of nice that no one can tell you what's right for you anymore, and you're just gonna have to find out. And I think it is honestly it is possible to keep living like this. And not that you have a choice of like reclaiming purpose and meaning in life, but um I usually now it's fine what you have told your mom. I can understand that. But with my parents, I don't really say that I don't have purpose or meaning or goals. I just like I tell it, maybe it varies, but I just tell them what I'm preoccupied with at the moment, and like I'm fine, you know, I'm eating well. Um yeah, because I think my parents, sometimes they do express like you know, you need to push forward, you need to like do this, do that, and I don't know, it just kind of goes in one ear and out the other, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. You see the purity of it. You can, and you just receive it and it passes.
Hmm. Yeah, they think it's coming from a lot of good intention, and that's all they know. They think that that's the only way to live. But yeah, there is another way without the intense suffering. Yeah, you're doing great. It sounds wonderful.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. So nice to meet you.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Hi,
Hmm.
Logan.
Hello, Suzanne and everyone.
So nice
Hmm.
to see you.
Yeah, you too. Just in awe of that last interaction.
Yeah, it's so sweet.
Yeah. Boy, my heart is like pounding. I guess I don't really know what I'm feeling, but um,
Nice. Yeah, give it all the space it needs.
mhm. Guess I feel like without anything to say in this moment. Um,
Yeah. You're welcome to just sit here. It doesn't need to go anywhere. Nothing needs to be said. So everything's just allowed. Nothing needs to change. It's all just energy, pounding heart, contractions, lightness. Doesn't matter.
I had a fear come up. Like I worry about people getting tired of me for taking so long, and
Oh no, we love you here. Don't worry about that, Logan. Yeah, I want you to just be yourself, however it appears every time we meet like this. It's perfect.
it's really sweet to hear.
Yeah, I think that's a common thing. A lot of people feel like they can't take up more space. Take up all the space you want.
Yeah, it's something I have really struggled with in my life. Um, yeah, always giving more space to others.
Yeah, you're just as important as everyone else.
It's like something I'm so unaccustomed to, like having enough space.
Like it feels like there's not enough space for you.
I was just noticing just now, like feeling like there's so much space. And then just how, uh, yeah, how like unaccustomed I am to that sense. I don't even notice it because it seems like it's so, what's the word? Like constant or, um, but yeah, it seems like I live with this feeling of almost being like crushed in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like a default. Yeah, it sounds very familiar. I was exactly the same way. So then when someone did give me the space, it was highly uncomfortable. Even though you kind of want
Yeah.
it, it's like, oh, no. It's not your norm.
I can feel, part of me that's looking around for like who needs something from me right now. Um,
Mm. This is your time. There's nothing else you need to do, but Yeah, whatever's there is just there. That's it. So that discomfort doesn't need to go away either. It's welcome here.
So part of me that just like really wants to perform. Um,
Nice. Perform for us. I'm just kidding.
uh,
This is enough.
it's,
Yeah, what were you going to say?
I was just gonna say it's like it's looking for the right performance or something. Um,
Yeah, that's well described. It's kind of like it never feels like whatever's going on is the thing. Like there has to be something else. But this is it. Whatever is going on, it's it's more than fine.
hmm. I was just thinking, lately it seems like I really just want to be quiet, like most of the time. Um, Feels very easy and comfortable. For some reason, having all these eyes on me suddenly makes it very uncomfortable. And I don't know why it's so easy sort of in life. Um,
Easy to like stay quiet or stay silent.
yeah, I guess the people that I spend the most time around are okay with it. So maybe that's something to do with it. Um,
Nice.
yeah, it sort of feels like out in the world, there's much more this is just what's coming to me now, but it seems like everyone is quite afraid and sort of almost like looking to you, um, trying to evaluate you for almost danger kind of all the time. Um, does that make any sense what I'm saying?
Do you mean like this? I think this is how I'm interpreting it. Like, since everyone's kind of navigating the unknown, since it's like you thought you knew, but you're going into the unknown, there's gonna be sort of not constant fear, but a lot more fear that will be there. So sometimes it's nice to have someone who's been through all of that to be like, it's okay. Like everything you're
Mhm.
describing is okay.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I agree with what you just said. Um, but what I was sort of pointing to um, is just so my sense of being kind of out in the world amidst people. I feel like I'm seeing fear in everyone, um, and then like all the kind of like strategies to mitigate that. Um, and there's something about like people's perception of me, which is completely understandable. Um, because I think we sort of go around perceiving everything as potentially, dangerous. But there's something about people's perception of me as like something that that needs to be sort of watched out for, or yeah, I don't know. There's like something I'm kind of feeling in here, but feeling into here that it's kind of hard to put words around.
That makes sense. I think that's how we live our life a lot, like how people perceive us. We try to manage it somehow. It takes a lot of energy, but everyone's doing it because, for one, it's impossible to know how anyone's interpreting you.
Mm.
It's going to vary from like really good to really bad. Who knows? Everything in between. Most likely here, it's going to be, we all love you, but out in the world, it's just going to vary like crazy. And so, if we're really, really honest, there's absolutely no way to control that. And so sometimes it's nice to say, fuck it. Whatever they think, it's not even reality. But even when you know that, sometimes because of how we've been conditioned our whole life, it's like there's still going to be the tightness or the fear or the trying to evaluate, mitigate.
Yeah, I forget who was talking about. Um, Now I even forget what what they were talking about. But I seem to recall somewhere earlier someone was saying something about or it could have been just a feeling of like really letting oneself, oh yeah, letting oneself be, and it's like inevitable to cause harm. Um, yeah, I feel like um, I don't know. That's something that I've really avoided the inevitability of doing harm and sort of like trying to just almost not allowing myself to like be in the world because of that inevitability, inevitability, whatever, or
Mm.
something. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, like you really didn't want to cause harm or something, and then it was better for you to not be so involved or something.
yeah, to just like be almost nothing as much as possible.
Yeah, I could relate to that a lot. I think sometimes like the more sensitive you are, the more you feel, and then the more like you don't want to harm anyone else. And then yeah, you feel like when you kind of speak out or take up space or do all of that, it's like somehow it's harming people. And I think that's really normal. But really in the bigger picture, if you see the whole scale of being a person, obviously there are ways you could do a lot of harm, murdering people, things like that. But it's inevitable that you'll do even little bits of harm. I mean, you don't even have to interpret it that way. It's like you honestly don't know. You just can't know.
Yeah,
And
because I
it's
mean,
mhm.
I was just gonna say if everything's the same, like it's not like you can say anything is you can't say anything definitively. Um,
Exactly. Yeah, is it harm?
But yeah, it is more something about just like taking up space. That's just been, I feel like I can't even say resisted because it's like impossible to actually resist that. Um, but more like somehow not acknowledged or something.
I think we could get accustomed to a certain sense. Like I said, a default. So it becomes like our norm. We actually kind of don't know what else is possible. So there's actually nothing wrong with that. I think I had to see that it's okay that I feel quite uncomfortable taking up space. There's nothing wrong with
Mm.
it. You don't have to change it. It doesn't mean you're worse than anything. Um, it's actually really relieving and relaxing and nourishing for the body to know there's a reason why it's like that. It's not your doing. It's not really particularly anyone else's doing, but it makes sense probably with the childhood you had or the life experiences that became your comfort zone. And that's why it's here now and it's completely fine.
Mhm. Yeah, it's funny how it's almost assumed that it's like something wrong with me, like
Yeah.
with me specifically, you know.
Yeah, that you should be able to take up space and but no.
Right. speaking with you, it feels like there's much more space here, and also a lot of discomfort. So yeah, uh, it's kind of cool to almost like perceive the discomfort like within the space rather than feeling so like confined into the discomfort or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite different when it feels like it's just the confinement, but when the
Mm-hmm.
confinement can be and arise in everything, not separate from everything. It just is. It's very neutral. It doesn't even say anything. It's just there.
Yeah, I'm still looking for what's wrong with me. Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with you.
Seems like a deep one. I don't really know how to question that or
The wrongness goes really deep. So it's not that you have to believe it. Um, I almost think it's kind of intertwined with that sense of individuality because it feels separate automatically. It has that automatic sense of like brokenness or I'm not complete yet. So it can take on these different flavors of that. So it's kind of inherent in that. Again, it's not personal. Everyone has it.
Mhm.
It's not wrong. It's not bad. It doesn't need to go away.
That's really helpful to hear that it's not personal. Yeah, like how could it be? Yeah. Yeah, it's just here.
Yeah, it's inherent in being alive and a person. That's how it is.
I really appreciate the space.
Yeah, I really appreciate you, Logan. Yeah, so good to see you.
You too, Suzanne.
Nice,
Thank you.
Alina. Yeah. Oh, thanks so much, Logan. It's always beautiful.
I want to share something with Logan really quickly that I find kind of funny,
Mm-hmm.
which is that throughout like midweek periods, sometimes I'll be like lonely or like thinking about the group or whatever. And because I'm like craving connection, I'll think like the next time in a group meeting, I'm just going to ask Suzanne to sit with me and we're just going to sit and be there together. And I always think that sounds really nice and really sweet and like something I want to do. And then I get to the meeting and I have a million things I want to say. So you got to do something today that I've always wanted to do. And that was really sweet. So I'm really glad that you took that time. I've wanted to do that for myself before.
Yeah.
I
Nice.
found that. But I just wanted to kind of share a little bit about what's going on in my experience lately. And I'm not going to be able to describe it 100%, but I still want to try to share. And I don't know if there's a question, maybe one will appear as I start talking about it. But the last couple of weeks, I have found kind of an immovable trust that whatever is appearing is exactly what it's supposed to be. And it's not like the trust that we think of as an emotion, like trust, doubt. It's not like that at all, because any emotion, anything that's appeared, including doubt or trust, like those things then become what is trusted as supposed to be here. So it's almost like this frequency, like I don't know how to describe it, but it's just almost like this overlay that I guess you could call acceptance, but I've always kind of viewed acceptance as this thing that you have to do and practice, whereas this is more of just like doubting has hurt for so long for me and caused so much suffering that it's like I can't keep doing it anymore. Like I can't get the body, the emotions, the mind to do that anymore. Even a month ago, if I had said, if I don't wake up, I trust that I'm not supposed to, that would have been a big trigger, like big sticking point. Like that was like the main attachment. Like I have to wake up. Other people do not understand how badly I have to wake up. And now it's just like, well, if it doesn't happen, like it's clearly not supposed to happen. And there's nothing wrong with that. And like getting on this call today, you know, like I normally have some thoughts of like, you look batshit insane on these calls, because you'll start out laying down because you just woke up 20 minutes ago, and then you get up and then you want to go outside, and then it's too hot. So you want to go out into the tree, and like you can't stay still, and you look everywhere, and like you look batshit. And today it's like those thoughts still appear, and those thoughts are supposed to be here. But also the body's doing what it wants to do. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't judge my cat when it wants to stretch. Like,
Beautiful.
and weird part about this is that it's giving me such a good sense of wellness that I almost like can feel myself backing away from it, because for a long time wellness was not truth. It's not emptiness. It's not the final thing. It's not the big shebang. It's not like, you know, like anything that could appear on the spectrum, happy, sad, any of that. Like it's not what I was looking for. And now I feel like I'm kind of getting to the place where I'm being honest with myself that like I want well-being above anything else. And I wouldn't wanted to have said that a month ago, because that would mean that I wanted well-being more than waking up. But I wanted waking up so that I would feel okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's so beautiful.
it feels really, really good to trust life.
Oh,
It feels really good to trust that, like, if I'm sad or something appears, like, it's here. It's supposed to be here.
mm.
And I don't know if it's because, like, I've tried looking into will for so long that it's like, well, clearly I have nothing to do with it, so you might as well trust it. Um, and what also is kind of sweet is I don't know what I'm trusting. Like, I guess I could call it life. I could call it consciousness. I could call it God, awareness, whatever you want. But, like, no, it's just more of like, I'm trusting this thing that I know is here, I know is real, but that I don't really need to put a pin on or to kind of conceptualize or anything like that. Like, I just know it's here. I know it is. I've seen it enough times. It's okay. Like, I've had a lot of insights that come and go, and there's always a lot of suffering that comes with that. And this just feels a little different. It feels like moving into something else.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
I know I shared here in a call with you one time, like I desperately wanted to wake up by the time I was 30 years old. Like I needed to do something in my 20s that was cool because like ages and stuff, like I didn't want to be a 30-year-old woman, have done nothing. It'd be really cool this in my 20s and to be able to say I woke up in my 20s. And now I'm just like I want to be okay. I really want to be okay. And the last few nights it's been like my brain trying to pull up any kind of nightmarish thing that would cause me to normally freak out and being like, I think if that arised, I could trust it. I could trust that misery would come with it and that I would feel that misery and it would be really, really horrible and that I could trust all of that too. And I think this is what I really wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So it's very strange and not something that I can totally put into words because it's just like it's this like overlay, like I said, like it's not a feeling tone or emotion or anything like that. It's just almost like this neutrality that's here. Um, and I'm so fucking grateful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It sounds so gorgeous, everything you said, how you described it. Because I think you can see now that wanting for awakening is the same chase as any other chase. It's just not being here, you know? Not that you can be here, but what you just described is what this actually is. It's not something for you. It's not something to get. It's not something special. It's like, no, it's just what's always been here. It is kind of like a wellness. It is kind of like whatever it is, it's perfectly okay. It's always been okay, no matter what it is.
It just feels really good to express that. It feels good to be here with everybody. I think everybody that shared today was so, so sweet. And I just want to hug everybody. I love you
Yeah.
guys all.
Yeah. Yeah. We love you too. And you never looked insane or a mess, honestly. It was just always beautiful, always honest.
You. Yeah. I don't think I have any questions. I just wanted to try to articulate that and kind of knew going in like this isn't going to be something I can fully articulate perfectly, but I did
Yeah.
an okay job. All right. That was
Yeah.
kind of cool.
You did wonderful. And you don't need any questions. Yeah. I love that you just described.
That's all. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. So happy for you. Yeah. Thanks so much. All right. Thanks so much for being here, everyone. It's really lovely to see you all. Thanks for sharing. Yeah. Beautiful meeting, huh? Okay. So much love to everyone. Bye.